Hi you guys, my name is Ashley Osier and I'm the posture specialist. Today we are going to be looking at what I consider to be the best stretch and exercise that you can do every day. It's going to correct your posture and it's going to enhance your overall wellness. I call it the 3-lock mountain. Okay, so we have 3 locks. We have the lower lock, or the pelvic lock. We have the diaphragm lock, where the diaphragm is, just under the ribs. And then we have a throat lock, so it's here up. So most people have a tendency to be collapsed here. Their shoulders are forward. Their chin is forward. Okay? And then they're tucking their hips. This is usually how we sit. Then we have our phone, so our head is down. It can create a lot of congestion up here, a lot of compression in the abdominal intestinal area, and then compression here on the low back and just the whole spine area. I'm going to take this here. We're going to do our first lock. Adjust, second lock, diaphragm. I'll move this here. And then the throat lock. We gotta all get this. It's really, really important. It's gonna change your life. I guarantee you, it's gonna change your life. So let's go more into detail on this, okay? We have our first lock. Most people have a tendency to tuck their pelvis, or we'll say push the belly button into the spine. When we tuck our pelvis, it actually disengages our glute muscles, and we want to keep our glute muscles engaged. So I'm going to keep my hips back, but I'm going to do what I call zipping up. So I'm going to take the top of the pubic bone and I'm going to pull that up to my belly button. I'm going to take this part and I'm going to zip it up. You see that? So I'm out here and I'm going to zip it up. Now I'm going to make sure that my hips stay back so that my glutes stay engaged. We want those glute muscles to stay engaged. It's the largest muscle we have, so we want to make sure to utilize it properly. Now we're going to do our diaphragm lock. This is probably the most challenging for people that I find, because what we have to do is we have to lift the ribs up and out, and we have to lift the sternum up in a way that tilts our upper back. And what that does is it pulls those shoulders back and down, and it does it so naturally, but it's got to start here. So we have our foundation down here in our first lock, our pelvic lock. And then what we need to do is we need to take that diaphragm and we need to create a shelf. And that shelf is going to allow everything above it to be nice and strong. So let's take a look at it. So I want this area right here, instead of it being collapsed down, I want to lift it up and out. So you would feel a pull in your mid-back. I'm going to do this to the front so that you guys can see it. What you want to do is you're going to lift up here. Now I'm lifted, but lifted isn't all that we need to do. What we need to do is we need to flare the ribs out with the diaphragm. So watch. You see how I did that? Watch again. Now that is not lifting my sternum. That's just merely expanding out. Now we're going to take the sternum, the second part of that, and we're going to lift that up to the ceiling. Okay, now watch this from the side. So I've got my first lock engaged, hips are back, I'm zipped up, nice and strong. I lift up and out. I'm going to take my sternum, now watch my back. See that? I'm just taking my sternum, this front part, this bone right here in the front, and I'm lifting it up to the ceiling. okay? So I have a natural rotation that takes place. It's very, very nice. It's just you're adding one foundation on top of the other, and then we want to hold that. So what you're doing is you're engaging the muscles in between the ribs. They're called your intercostals. It's like an exercise. So you're literally exercising, but at a deep level. So we're not exercising the big muscles. We're doing what I call micro fitness. Micro exercise, micro stretching, micro fitness. So it's just taking all these little tiny attachments, and we are engaging the muscles to change or correct the structure. From this position, what we're going to do is we're going to take the back of our shoulder blades and we're going to pull those down to the floor. So we'll take it, we'll pull it down. So I'm going to take the middle of my throat, not my chin. I'm not going to push my chin back. I'm going to pull it back. So watch. You see how it rotates the sternum even more? Just taking the middle part of the throat and pulling that back. After you set this new shelf, then you can adjust here if you have additional rotation. After you do your third lock, you just want to top it off. You want to top it off, okay? And how we do that is we take the tops of the ears and the top of the head and we just lift it up as high as we can. Lift, lift, and relax into that position. As I see so many people benefiting from this, and as they continue to do the work, they build on top of the new adaptation that's taking place in their bodies, and people are able to do more things than they ever were before. So all my social media stuff, I'll go ahead and put it in the drop-down box for you guys to check out. Until the next video, happy posturing.